Welcome, guys. Just wanted to go live here and kind of test out some of this new equipment and get kind of familiar with it before I come back tomorrow. Make sure everything works properly. So far, it's looking pretty good. This is the macro lens here, and I have it set up for dual shooting to where we can get real close on things. Oops. Sweet. Yeah, definitely beats the iPhone. Cool. Yeah, it works pretty good. And then I can switch between these different cameras too now. And I've got this camera, which is like my normal walk around camera, which even looks better too. Hey Bernie. Hey man, I'm just testing out the new gig. Check this out. Oops. I'm probably really janky at messing with this stuff right now because it's just getting used to it. But look at that macro, bro. Like this is what I'm talking about. I got to get a remote though because it's a little tough. We're gonna have to get another camera too because I can then I can switch between a really nice quality shot. Because look at this, the just the normal on it looks really good, but I got to focus it all the time. It's one of those. So I'm gonna get a more um, studio shot or something that auto focuses maybe or something. Yeah, thanks ACP. I'm stoked. Definitely better than what we had. And then I can do this now, like Bernie. Man, I don't know if I could sell that one because it's got well, I mean, I'm sure I could to you, man, but I have such a hard time when these like, Masonic as above, so below things come out. It's crazy. Yeah, now it's just going to be me holding it steady because like any bit in and out, I lose the focus. But yeah, it's still super cool. I don't see that too often, so we're having fun. And this thing's not too bad either. This is just the MacBook cam on the MacBook Air M4 or 5, I think. It's pretty cool. Hey, thanks, nurse. We're just playing with toys today, so I see if this works. Oh yeah, can drag this around. I'm sure I could have done this in a practice one, but I figured I'd come in here and say hi. I got some new stuff coming tomorrow, so super excited. I'm gonna show them here first. Show it to two. That's if DHL comes at their normal time. Sometimes they're early, sometimes they're late. So we'll cross our fingers. Oh, yeah, it's definitely not. It's usable for sure. The one on the new iPhone's even better, but I can't sacrifice the walk around camera. I don't think for that. Let's see here. I just don't know how to make it not automatically zoom. Yeah, look up Baphomet and the Sophia, Inanna, Ishtar, those divine feminine, and then also look into like King Solomon and how he, um, was manipulating demons and basically created the first witchcraft or that lines of things. or at least that we have documented. It seems like there might be occult things that maybe he picked up on from this type of, wow, that just zoomed up there automatically by itself. Yeah, see, that's why I'm doing this now. I have no idea. I'll have to go into settings on. Wow. Yeah, the camera is truly, truly. This is what I do all my books with, but on the screen here, it's like even maybe even better. I'm stoked. Just got to figure out how to focus it and get it clear a little more quickly. Yeah, and also, it's like it won't stack the multiple lenses and stuff, so you don't get as clear of a focus with it, unfortunately. But yeah, not bad. Just got to get the depth of field just right. So that's why I'm practicing right now, trying to get it, a good idea. Yeah, nurse, that's the truth. One way or another, the artists, or it can't be one artist at this point. There's just too many pieces, too many different things, but just the breadth of the entire thing is insane. Yeah, once we have more of a idea really of what the what it is we're actually seeing, rather than right now it's so assumptive because dogma is so deep. Even though we see all these pictures and have all these symbols and practices and gods and all this stuff, that doesn't mean that it was actually the real story. It could be the time where these gods walked with man and confused them and deceived them. So everything we see might be completely the opposite, like bizarro world stuff. And as above, so below, that inverse pyramid, the Star of David, that sort of thing, relates back to Saturn and the demiurge and the control of time and the material world that we have here and its arrangement. So yeah, definitely Solomon was onto something, which is weird. And the way that he was approached by this angel and how this all occurred is something in itself, because it's, if you look at Aleister Crowley's work, while it wasn't the Archangel Gabriel that came down and gave him a ring, what did happen was borderline along the similar lines of receiving information and you know it, Solomon's work got really dark in a lot of aspects, all the way into him becoming an infidel. So he definitely was maybe tampering in something that he shouldn't have. So it's interesting to see that a archangel would come and do that, unless he was trying to trick him or do something. I don't know. But my only complaint here is that I can't see on my phone screen what you guys see here, so I have to like rubberneck around and see if I am looking at the right place. Luckily, I've been doing it for a fair amount of time, so I kind of remember muscle memory, I guess. Oh, this is cool. I can do this and still see the chat. I dig it. What's interesting about this software is it actually makes my iPhone look better, it seems like. I'm not sure. Does it look better to you guys too? Like, this is just my iPhone right here. It's crazy. Um, there's a few people. Yeah, laboratories are really hard to get into. People like Oleg Elastrov. Um, my scientist Trevor Millar is a really good source, but there's not a lot of people that are pushing the boundaries on this topic. That's actually why I came into this, because it felt like no one else was, and I couldn't get the answers that I was looking for. I was a skeptic, but it just something about it seemed just different than fake. So much detail. That's so much effort to be historically correct. A lot of people say, "Oh, aliens in Mexico, Egypt and Mexico." That doesn't fit. You know, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. A guy commented on the metal book I posted, and he's like, "Alien genitals. This is crazy," you know, or whatever. And I'm like, actually, it's exactly what the ancient texts talk about, like to the T. Genesis chapter 6 and the Enuma Elish and all the, Adamu and different species that were created before. And I mean, we're clearly seeing something that they painted for us instead of what it actually is. And the alien agenda is just that. It's no wonder they've had so much influence. Like our governments have been known since I think the 90s or maybe even late 80s to frequent um, alien events and like disclosure type events and discredit and disinform. And there's actually released papers from the Freedom of Information Act that show this. The government was in on this type of deception. So when you look at this now and you look at that then, um, it's hard to say. Old structures, yeah, that's something. We definitely found things that aren't alien related. Absolutely. In fact, bones and certain things that are found with these pieces often date 600 years ago. So what we think is that that there was they thought that these things were satanic or demonistic. They were pagan, and there was a lot of people that buried them or got rid of them. They didn't want anything to do with them. People were killed over having them. It's the whole story of the Spanish coming in and laying way. We know a lot of the stuff was melted down and destroyed, and likely this is some of the stuff that survived or didn't get destroyed, and so yeah, it's a mixture. You see all kinds of pre-Hispanic, and a lot of times, what's really interesting is I'd seen like official digs, and they would show, and there would be like ceramic pieces, and then they would have fragments of pottery and that sort of stuff in there, maybe some offering tokens, but nothing artifact wise or anything like that. But it would be scattered through the dirt as they would be doing these excavations. And then what's crazy is the guys see the same thing, but then you go like a foot and a half deeper, or maybe even 6 to 10 inches deeper, and that's where the items are. So it's like they almost put these items on top to bless the area, maybe, or they because they seem intentionally buried at some point, like that archway that was found. I mean, it was sealed very professionally, like the way that was all stacked in there, like that was no typical thing that I've ever seen. Um, I watched the Zeitgeist film a long time ago, but it's been so long, and I couldn't even tell you for sure. So, but as far as structures go, nurse, I think there's things that have been found now, but they don't know what to do with it, and they don't know how to get it into the right situation. So things have to be done very carefully, otherwise, who knows? But they're definitely on the look for that type of stuff to be found, and I think that maybe some of the guys are just not wanting to completely take it, and then others just want to expose it. So I guess it depends on who finds it and what they want to do with it, if they want to try to profit off of it or so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't know how this thing just drags off. I gotta fix this. All right, guys, I'm going to shut this down here and go review it and make some changes, and I'll be back tomorrow at 2. Have a good night.